Hello everyone, welcome to a rather special edition of WWT's WildWatch from my back garden, where I'd like to talk to you about some of the birds to give you an idea of some of the science and some of the research that we're still doing on them. And I'd also like to introduce you to a bird that used to live at WWT Slimbridge. This is Bruce. Bruce is a red-breasted goose. He's retired here, where he's the official lawnmower, and he's a grand old age, and he likes a bit of peace and quiet in his twilight years. So that's why he currently lives here rather than in the animal collection. And whilst I can't really talk to you about flamingos actually in the flesh, I can talk to you about some of the research and some of the science that we've been doing with the birds and why that matters even though the centre is still closed. So welcome to my flamingos, or rather my virtual flamingo flock, in my virtual flamingo wetland. And what you can see in these plastic birds, just like as you can see in a real flock, is that individuals are different shades of pink. And we've been investigating the influence of this colour and the colour difference on the bird's behaviour, particularly the amount of time the birds spend being aggressive and the amount of time the birds spend foraging. And we've discovered that colour is actually really important to flamingo society. And there are differences between birds and their place in the flock based on the degree of pinkness that they actually show. So this research was specifically carried out on the lesser flamingos at WWT Slimbridge, and we graded their colour based on how pale they were to how bright pink they were. And we did observations on the birds when they were feeding on their flamingo pellet, which keeps them pink, and when they were feeding naturally by filter feeding the microscopic algae and plant material in their pools. And we noticed that the amount of time spent feeding and the amount of time spent being aggressive when feeding differed between the individual birds with their different shades of pink. So this obviously tells us a lot about the importance of colour to the flamingo's daily life and how it organises its social behaviour around the things that it can see that other birds show, i.e. how pink are the flamingos that I'm hanging around with. These types of colours are really important for the signals that birds display to each other. Just like you can see on Bruce with his bright red front, that's an indication of individual condition, i.e. how good am I as a partner or a mate or a flock mate to have around me in my group. So flamingos are investing a lot of time and energy in collecting this pink colour from their food, because that gives them a role, it gives them a place in the flock, which is obviously beneficial to them. But we need to do more work to understand what these differences in colour actually mean to the social relationships that these birds form with others around them. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that virtual flamingo experience, and we look forward to welcoming you back at WWT Slimbridge really soon. But from me and Bruce, have a lovely day.